Hey folks, welcome to the channel. I'm Dom. This is Thinking Theology. I'm taking a look at this video. I was scouting YouTube the other day for videos to pick up on theological topics, and I don't mean pro-theology. They could be anti-theology, but anything that touches on theological topics that seems interesting, I look at the argument made behind it, the logic behind it, and just share my thoughts. This one is why atheism is dangerous. Okay, so it's a short, so it should be interesting. Let's see why I'll have to do one that, well, I do a lot too, that by Dawkins that George Carlin brings it up and such on why religion is dangerous. Let's see why he says atheism is dangerous. Here we go.
For 1 month, I studied atheism, the people who don't believe in God. And I realized it's dangerous to be an atheist. See, atheists don't believe in God because they trust in science. They question what they are told, even if it means getting into trouble. For example, Galileo. In the 16th century, everyone believed the sun revolved around the earth. But Galileo showed that the earth actually orbits the sun. He got punished by the church and was sent to jail for the rest of his life, but he didn't back down.
Eventually, he was right.
It takes courage because a lot of people will try to intimidate you if you refuse to accept their answer.
I still believe in God, but I am inspired by atheists like him to be brave, to fight for my beliefs, even if I get punished for them. That's 1 minute. See you tomorrow.
Well, that was interesting. I mean, the title, Why Atheism is Dangerous, he didn't say that. He was inspired by atheists to stand in his faith differently, get more confidently, I guess. So, because if you believe something and you believe the premises and your observations and your life bears out some sort of testimony to whatever it is that you believe, then you go with it. And the same thing is true of people who are what I would call reductionists. I mean, science and scientists and all this, that's sort of like the most used word, that science says this. Science doesn't say anything. People say things. Then for many people who are reductionists, and that is a philosophers use that word to refer to people who believe everything can be reduced to physical properties. There's no need to have metaphysical talk. There's no need to have the talk of spirit or God or gods or anything that goes beyond the observable. And their lives seem to them, to people who are reductionists, the world and their lives bear testimony to their worldview, that it can be reduced. Any kind of thing that goes on within the human body, that's just physical. It has nothing to do with God putting something on your heart or devil spirits going into your brain or whatever people think. And people have their own views. His was sort of a hodgepodge. He drew inspiration from people like Galileo, who stood his ground on what he observed. I think he was pardoned recently by the Catholic Church in the past decade for his apostasy. Not that most people cared about it, because we all kind of most people accept anyway, except flat earthers, that the earth goes around the sun, the moon goes around the earth, and all this stuff. But there you go. He didn't really come out and say why atheism is it may be dangerous to the person who stands in it if they're in a theocratic country or society, and they come out and say, well, what I found contradicts what you believe, then you're in trouble. Maybe in that case, atheism is dangerous to yourself. I don't think it's necessarily dangerous per se to thought, to discussion. I think it's healthy. If there's a flaw in your theology, an atheist is going to point it out. Somebody's going to point it out anyway. And vice versa. You know, if there's a flaw in your science, another scientist might find that flaw, but it might be somebody who is motivated to prove that there's a God who discovers some physical thing that's wrong in your world. I don't know. Competition can iron sharpens iron anyway. So, all right, guys. Subscribe if you haven't. That helps move things along. I'm looking to get to 1,000 right quick and subscribers, and we'll go from there. Have a great day. Leave your suggestions. I'll see you on another video, and keep thinking theology.